So, really, the point of this podcast is what? I just want to make sure we all remember. The point is to get you thinking outside your normal perspective, thinking outside the box, maybe just something you've never considered before. On that note, I would like to talk about my love hate relationship with social media. All right, here's the scoop. This podcast is literally coming from that space of I fucking hate social media, meaning I hate um consuming. I don't like how easy it is to just sit and waste your entire life scrolling, and that pull to like be on trend and know the algorithm and like SEO and all of that stuff. Okay. It really is not my jam. However, I feel deeply passionate about talking about the things that I talk about and the work that I do and helping people find the skills that they need to navigate their life with authenticity, first of all, but also with a little bit more ease. Like, I would like to contribute to lessening the suffering of our culture, not just our culture, but the world. So there's a catch 22 there, right? Because there's no other easier way to access the world than 2025 with social media. So I love it for that aspect. Also, I love it because my healing journey, my emotional intelligence journey truly began from Instagram and then to podcast and all this media, right? So I am so deeply thankful for it, for that aspect. And I want to be a contributor in that space. However, the actual act of creating and editing and posting and getting on every day and making sure you're in the algorithm properly and getting to the audience that wants it and all that stuff. Good God, I hate it. So, my compromise with myself right now, what I'm exploring right now, is to do what I love, which is to run my fucking mouth, okay? And share that with other people. And so the compromise is I'm going to try podcasts and YouTube, and then I'll just take from there and post that content on my social media, and let's see if we can get a little connective. I would love, just personally, I would love your support in this way in whatever form that comes. If you actually know things that, I mean, actually, I bet all of you know things that I don't know because I know very little about social media. So any help is appreciated. And I'm not going to lie, the ADHD part of me and this, I don't know if it's the left or right side of my brain. I always get mixed up, but I'm like the creative side, and I detest the side that has to be like very tedious and formulaic about inputting and like showing up and doing the things. Now I do it. All right. I can do it. And that's what I do with notes for my clients and, staying on top of administration things there. Social media is just, I haven't done it. I mean, I've tried to do it. Like, don't get me wrong. I've tried to do it. I just don't. Anyways, help. So you can either help with like practicals if anybody wants to help with SEO and all that. I'm an open book. Also, I'm not trying to like get work for free. So, figure that out on your own. But then also, what I'd really like is for people to just spread the love, spread the wealth, and share this with your people, because I believe that's how algorithms work. The more it's shared and people listen, the higher it goes up the pole. I don't know. I really don't know. It's a big black hole for me. However, I just wanted to share my love hate relationship with social media. And it's kind of funny because the other piece that, all the parents of teens or caregivers of teens are going to understand is how I didn't know when I had kids that I was signing up for their adolescence years to be absolutely ruled and controlled by screen time. Anyone else? Like literally, I'm like, what is so important on your phone that you cannot sit and talk to me for 2 minutes when I haven't seen you all day? Like, I get it. I'm annoying and I'm your mom and like you've been with me your whole life and bleh. But we have really important stuff we have to talk about, like where, when you need rides and where you need to be and have you eaten today. So that was kind of shocking, and I'm not going to say that I'm handling it well. I'm not going to say that I'm like really adapting to this age of screenagers because I just wasn't prepared for it. Not only was I not prepared for it, obviously, if you have teens right now, they are the first generation that have had smartphones from birth. So that's fucking terrifying. And nobody knew. So how would I know? How would I be prepared for that when literally this is the first time in cultural history that this is happening? Um, anyways, not necessarily responding well to that. I wonder if you are. If you are, and you are like finding some really amazing breakthroughs and ways to transition into, I don't know, something more adaptable for parent and child, please, for the love of God, share with us in the comments. Find that wherever you're listening to this podcast, leave a review. Find me on social media, that place that I hate to be. And truly, I do check my messages, so you can get on there and share with me because, you know, I definitely come across as a know-it-all, I'm sure, because I have something to say about everything. Like literally there's very few things that I have nothing to say about. I do have nothing to say about crypto. Okay. I don't have anything to say about that. Like that's it. That's all I have to say about crypto is I don't have anything to say about it. Okay. But most things I have things to say about. So that can come across as very know it all. Again, I just want to reiterate, like I did in my intro podcast, which you should go back and listen to if you haven't already. I don't necessarily think I'm right about everything. This is part of my personality that, you know, back in my Christian school days at the end of 8th grade, all the teachers got together and came up with one word that described each student, and my word was persuasive. And my stepdad said, which is so funny, and I will never forget this. He started laughing. He goes, "Wow, that's just a really nice way to say manipulative." And I was like, "Hey, I don't even know. I didn't really know what they were talking about." But as I've gotten older and now I'm 41, I kind of know what they're talking about because I have an opinion about everything. My working memory is probably one of my greatest strengths. Like real time conversations, real time mind action going. I can pull literally every file that I have in my brain on a specific topic in any given moment if we're talking. So that was at play back in 8th grade, even. And I would just have thoughts about things immediately. And I can be very passionate about them. Obviously, I'm very easily excitable and I could get amped up real quickly. So I think all that is what played into that persuasive word. But back to my point, I don't need everybody to agree with me. I don't think I'm right all the time. So as much as you hear me coming across so matter of factly, just keep in the back of your mind, like she comes across like she knows it all, but really she's always fucking learning. Like I'm always learning, and I'm constantly reassessing and readjusting my thoughts, my opinions, because there's so many, aka judgments sometimes, let's be real, and my beliefs. Like they're always shifting. That's something with my growth mindset that I really value is I will not hold myself and I will not be held to something I said 5 years ago or 5 minutes ago. Okay, really, you're going to have to check in every minute to see if I still believe it. Because actually, I'm a different person than I was 10 years ago. This chick 10 years ago, she was like a pastor's wife. What? Excuse me, what? She was a pastor's wife, going to a mega church, raising her kids Christian, all of that. That girl she doesn't exist anymore. Like, yes, that's part of my story. Okay, I'm not completely dissociating, but I just grow and evolve and I allow myself to do that. And I will allow you to do that too. If we get into some shit on social media because you're DMing me and I'm responding, even though I hate to be there and maybe you hate it too, but there we are. If we get into it, I'm telling you, if you come back in 3 months and you're like, dude, I don't even think those same things, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, me neither. Or, I mean, I'm not to say everything I say is wishy washy. I really do fundamentally believe some core things will never change with me. However, I live in the gray. I fucking live in the gray. The black and whites, that was my old life. That was fundamental religion for me. The only thing that's black and white to me now is all humans are to be revered. Revere all humans. Reverence is not the same thing as respect. Respect is earned and learned. Reverence is just you exist, you breathe, you deserve to be loved, known, seen, heard, understood, and healed, and really live as your truest, highest self. That's what I mean by reverence. Aside from that, like everything's up for debate and grabs. Like, I don't know. That's according to my personal standard and your personal integrity. And we can all find a way to coexist with that. Anyways, that started off about social media and it ended with reverence with all humans. And that's how that goes. So, welcome to my brain. I can't wait to see you next time. Thank you for listening.